Yields. The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from Iowa, Dr. Miller-Meeks.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Administrator Regan, for testifying before the committee. I actually have a lot of questions for you today, so I'd appreciate if you can keep your responses brief. However, it bears repeating, and I've said this numerous times in this hearing when we're talking about health benefits, health consequences, that 5 million people die globally every year due to exposure to excessive hot or cold. The vast majority of those, 8%, die from cold, 8 times more than from heat, 4.5 million annually. 2019 study from the National Bureau of Economic Research estimates that by driving down natural gas prices due to the fracking revolution has saved more than 11,000 American deaths in winter per year from 2005 to 2011. Not hypothesis, actual deaths, and death, I would say, is a severe health consequence. The draft proposals put forward by the EPA to allow electric vehicle manufacturers to participate in generating renewable fuel standard credits were unprecedented and highly concerning if finalized. And I know you addressed this with Representative Pence, but I think it bears repeating because Iowa has some of the highest production of biofuels, be it ethanol, biodiesel, or compressed renewable natural gas. We also know that if in the United States we aren't producing those things, they will be produced elsewhere at much more significant environmental consequences. The RFS was not meant for electricity generation from an electric vehicle, even if that electric vehicle is charged using biogas that creates electricity. And Minister Regan, can you commit that the EPA will not move forward with a rule to allow electric vehicle manufacturers to qualify for RIN credits under the RFS?
We are, again, we're taking a very close look at that. One of the things that I'm most proud of is the RVOs that we put in motion. We have taken great pride and strides there, and so we are evaluating.
I would love to have a commitment from you. I'm going to move on.
Okay.
I'd like to revisit a question that you didn't have the answer to last year when I asked, and I'm going to ask it again. I don't consider these gotcha questions.
Sure.
And perhaps it's what I expect of myself as a standard, both in Congress and as a physician and as a military veteran. Are you aware how many passenger vehicles are on the road in the U.S. today?
I am not.
279 million. And are you aware how much energy it takes to get a single 100-mile charge on an electric vehicle? These are passenger vehicles.
Sure, I don't have that.
30 kilowatt hours. Now, the reason I ask that question, if you're going to make a rule that has such consequential impact to people's personal lives, to their health, to their ability to visit family, to the ability of our economy to work in the United States, I would expect of myself to know, because 279 million vehicles and 30 kilowatt hours comports to approximately 9 trillion kilowatt hours needed for energy for electric vehicles on the road today. And this is at a time when the EPA is trying to force closures of coal plants under the Clean Power 2.0 rule and has plans to go after natural gas plants next. And the EPA's plan to meet the electricity demand for the remaining, requiring 69% of cars to be electric by 2032. My point is, before issuing a rule, you would need to know an assessment of what it is and a plan for how to generate that electricity. And there's no such, I think, illustration that the EPA has even taken any of that into consideration.
We have. I can guarantee you we have, and our staffs can connect on the type of thorough analysis we've done on the demand that would be required and the reliability factors that we've used there.
Well, somehow it's missing to most of Congress and most Americans who want to have choice in their vehicles. Do you also need a reminder on the disaster this past January of electric vehicles and charging stations in Chicago not holding a charge during sub-zero temperatures? It does kind of get cold up north. Does the EPA not believe that consumer choice is important when selecting a vehicle that reliably fits their needs every day of the year, regardless of weather?
Absolutely, which is why we didn't issue a mandate. If you take a look at that, there's internal combustion engines, plug-in hybrids, and electric vehicles. There's a combination of options for the American people.
I think the American people would very much like to see the rationale behind the rule. And Minister Regan, are you aware that the U.S. manufactured goods are 80% more carbon efficient than the world average?
Yes.
If the particulate matter 2.5 level has been found safe by the EPA at 12 micrograms per cubic meter since 2012 for the last 14 years, what alarming new research has come to rationalize why the EPA would rush to drastically lower the approved amount by 3 points outside of the regulatory statutory process?
We're still seeing premature deaths. We're still seeing lost work days. We're still seeing the disbenefits from a health standpoint of on the economy. And so that lowering of the standard is more protective, especially for those who are disproportionately impacted by these pollutants.
Yeah, I think the effect on the economy will be drastic, as will the effect on health, by not having affordable energy and not having an economy that can grow and compete internationally. Thank you. With that, I yield back.